request our audience to pick up their speakers from whom you want to ask questions. Over to you, audience. Otherwise, I also have my set of questions for them.
You talked about two things, social crafting and cultural crafting. Life crafting, right. Now, I found both of them contradictory. So, last word used in last presentation was upechana like this, right? So, how to make a balance between those so that we don't act with pressure?
Yeah, life crafting was a technique to build purpose and meaning in the life, right? And what the theory says is, you need to derive this in the midst of the social context that you are in. Okay, that's very important. So your purpose and your meaning will derive a lot from what you have around you, right? And that's where you will develop those connections which will help you to de-stress, which will help you to get balance over there. Suppose you have a purpose, whatever purpose you choose in life, and you're going hammer and tong towards it, right? You might get exhausted after a point in time trying to pursue it, single-mindedly. And that's why the theory says that if you also craft socially, you find a lot of tools available to you which will bring that equanimity back to you, the sense of balance back to you, so that you still stay focused to pursue what you have to pursue. And that's why they say life crafting is dependent on social, right? And that's why many times we encourage, for example, children to have other, avenues in life which help you to actually focus on the main thing a lot better. That's really what it is.
I'm tempted to share this. In a recent study, two drivers of flourishing. One is self-direction, meaning what I have to do. Another is social connectedness. So both, only self doesn't work, only social doesn't work. Both of them have this. So it's very clearly coming out of the data. My PhD was basically on two words, Swadharma and Lokasangra. Karmayog and this was spiritual climate and its impact on customers' experience. Karmayog has two components. Swadharma, finding out what you are good at. Lokasangra, offering it for the world maintenance. So that is like very clear social and self-connectedness connection. We do some workshops with the leaders, find your Swadharma. In the process, when they write Swadharma, invariably Lok Sangra is हो ही जाता है. If you go step by step, हमारे mind को थोड़ा settle करके, as it happens in the any facilitation process. When they write Swadharma with the settled mind, Lok Sangra was right. So they are so deeply connected. Actually, there is no self and other. So it is, though our experience is not routinely like that, but when you go deeper, you see the connection of self and other so evident in the best of life experiences.
My question is for Shailaja. Build emotional intelligence in children. Like many kids are sensitive, some are not, some are very insensitive. So how to balance it and start them from very early age?
So I have a kids yoga class at my studio in Malaysia. And my own son started at university, and something that deeply touched me when he wrote his university application to the US was that he said the yoga classes that he has been attending from the age of 5, right? He talked about yoga chitta vritti nirodha, about how that helps, through the breathing practices. It helped him to, deal with situations, maintain equanimity. So I'm just saying this because it touched me deeply. It just happened very recently because you know how kids are, right? You tell them to write about something they're not going to do, and that it came from his, on his own accord he did that. Was something I realized that at least all my years of yoga teaching has really paid fruit. Just the fact that my son has drawn inspiration from there. But bring them awareness. Like today, even in schools, right? I'm just going back to my son because I have a child as well. So even there, you're teaching them breathing practices, So they say before you go for an exam, there's so much of research and evidence-based research on the breathing, right? So even in the big universities, Stanford, Oxford, all they do research, and they have talked about the efficacy of these practices. So a simple thing like breathe in for 4 counts, breathe out for 4 counts, before you're feeling stressed. Right? Even before I had to come out to stage, I was sitting there and doing my breathing practice. So teaching the kids learn. It's how we shape them. It's their exposure. And the other thing that my teacher always says, that it is only wisdom that brings lasting peace. Yeah, that we can, we can expose them to the scriptures. There is no greater wisdom than that is found in the scriptures. Right, so bringing my son up again, and he was very crushed also because one university that he really wanted to go to, that he was rejected from there. And the only thing I could tell him was Karmanyavadikaraste. Right, all you can do is put in your best efforts. Right, the fruit is not in our hands. So to me, this is all that has helped my life. This is all I've shared with my son, and to me, I think this is the key. Right? Our scriptures contain all the wisdom that we need, and our yogic practices with its holistic approach, right? With the breathing practices, the asana practices, all of that is going to help the kids. But we need to expose them in the right way. Like not that yoga is just about standing on your head or, it's great to see yoga shows and kids doing, gymnastics with light positions, but it's not really about that only. It is that, but it is also more than that. That's what I always try to drive home. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone? Yeah.
I just wanted to add on. I think as parents, do we emphasize the virtues of kindness, giving? Like how do we celebrate their birthdays? What kind of outings do we expose them to? How do we reward them and recognize them? Also depends on how they shape things up in their life. I know people who follow the same routine that Shailaja was talking about. Whether it's a Saturday or a Sunday, you have to get up at a particular time and do it. There's nothing like a relaxing day in this day. I know parents who take the children to orphanage on the birthday and celebrate with them and make them realize the value of what they have. How do we expose our children to give them those experiences which build compassion and kindness in them? So that, with one child syndrome that we have, most of us, many of the young parents today, 1 or 2 children, it becomes so difficult to drive. They don't grow up like, what we were hearing in the main hall today. Family of 14, 15, 16 people, which used to be earlier, is not there anymore. It's like 1 bedroom, 1 TV for each person. So what kind of experiences are we giving our children? Also helps them mold themselves. And food, yes. Organic food, right? A lot of this junk stuff gives rise to a particular way of thinking. I have one question for you, yes. You talked about this whole experience of COVID and how it changed a lot of things. So over time, have you seen people changing their habits and practices because of this? What has been your observation?
My observation is that people who continue practice yoga didn't have any damage by corona and after corona. But the other one who who are still alive and come with us to practice, they have now good health, good movements, more flexible, and etc. So I have to say to all of one who watch from online sessions to do yoga. Let's do pranayama and meditate. You will be healthy and happy. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Because we have time, so
Yes.
I'll just stretch my question a bit. We are talking about Swadharma, Lok Sangra. It's open for the forum, whoever wants to do that. So mainly I think Ashish and Shailaja and then Karmanya Nirvadika Rasana Parishuddha Nishkam Karma. There are so many theories that you should work without any expectations and without any name and fame, you just work whatever is given to you. Now I am coming to all my friends as well as Manish is there, Sunil is there, so we are from the armed forces. Whenever you want some medal or any appreciation, you have to write your biodata or the resume or let's say something. Or a research is going to be published. All professors, they are writing so many things about themselves. For APRs, annual performance appraisal reports, even for the CEO of the company, and everybody is writing so damn good things about themselves because otherwise it's not going to get. So whatever we are doing and practicing, first of all it is quite a different. Then, whenever, even if you don't want any name and fame, just to save your skin, you have to write so many things about this. So let me understand how we should practice this in practice. We all know how should we do, but how to keep balance between and what should be the right.
Shailaja.
Well, that is the human paradox that B.K. Zainaji was talking about, right? We have to live in this world and yet we have to remain true to, our deeper self. So, but my point only is that saying good things about yourself is not a bad thing as long as it's true.
Then we are not practicing whatever we are saying.
No, I mean, I don't think it says you cannot value yourself or you cannot say good things about yourself. I mean, nowhere does it say that, put yourself down, right?
But you are also understanding what I want to say. Because there is no good way of saying so that you can say goody things. Ashish, do you want to answer?
Well,
there are 2-3 examples I'll give how people have balanced it and that can help us to learn. There is one professor, very, very respectable, in the Indian psychology, Indian development. When he writes papers, a lot of his own references comes, so much so that a reviewer has to say, please write other references as well, though the person has done a lot of work. But there are other professors, equally profound, they will summarize their own references and then they give a lot of credit and other references of the other authors as well. So this is like a balance. We all, both are writing papers, both have competitive edge, both have to prove to the world that they have known something which others have not been so clear about and all that. But this is one example. Another example, second example. There is one professor I have seen who has written large number of papers, so much so he got the best researcher award and at some point in time it was very clear that earlier he was a corporate leader and then became professor. It became very clear that he is writing for the award matters to him and then a lot of his writing is towards that. Another professor, known as a very thorough researcher, never got an award, but so many years I have seen applying for it. Even after applying for that, he didn't feel disappointed or he didn't change his path for doing genuine, creative, useful research. तो जस्ट हाँ एक एब्स्ट्रैक्शन करके करता हूँ हाँ तो एक तो व्यावहारिक सत्य है और एक परमार्थिक सत्य है। वो बैलेंस इज कि हम व्यवहार में इतने ना फंसे रहें कि परमार्थ बिल्कुल ही भूल जाएं और परमार्थ में इतने ना रुक जाएं कि व्यवहार का जो गेम है बेसिकली ये गेम ही है। एंड इफ वी नो दैट दिस इज द गेम आई एम प्लेइंग इट आई हैव फुल फन ऑफ इट एंड व्हेन आई एम आउट ऑफ इट आई एम आउट ऑफ इट। वो ईशोपनिषद का एक श्लोक है जो विद्या में पूरी तरह से रत हैं वो जो अविद्या में पूरी तरह से रत हैं अविद्या मतलब मटेरियल वो अंधकार में है लेकिन जो विद्या में ही पूरी तरह से रत हैं वो उससे भी बड़े अंधकार में।
I would make an attempt to answer this question because Socrates he said when writing was developed that is the worst thing which is going to happen to the mankind because उससे पहले श्रवण and श्रुति से सब कुछ चलता था. So this tool, so to say, which was designed to collect taxes and maintain and have governance, this has now turned into an agent, right? So there's a difference between a tool and an agent, and that is the issue which we are grappling with. So there has to be an acceptance because this is the only agent now to communicate, right? The speech and the behavior or the emotions have been taken over by this agent. This is the only agent now which establishes what is right or what is wrong. So it is not about writing the ACR better or I'm like no, that is a skill how to write it better or not. But the larger question is that कि हमने तो पूरा we did our work for the full year, but now we have to write. So the larger question is yes, it has to be written because this is the only and only agent which will establish that this has happened. And it's a bare truth. There is no point fighting with it because now it has been 400, 500 years of a transformation which has happened. And this is the only medium with which the whole world is communicating among each other. So that's the new platform on which, so a tool has taken over and become an agent. So it's better to accept it and learn the skill rather than fighting it.
Social crafting.
सर पैसे कमाइए, उस पैसे का क्या करना है सोचिए, वो आपके कंट्रोल में है। बट पैसे को ना बोलने की
No, it is not that superficial. It is about a change which has happened. It is, I would say, it's an evolution. The way we have started walking straight, the way we have developed other parts, the way our brain has reconciled. It is an evolutionary step which has happened in our evolution of being a human being. The method of communication or expression has become writing from speech and thinking. So the issue is not
My
larger.
comment was more for Naveen ji about writing your annual appraisal. Yeah. So I'm saying अगर that is the way that it has to be done, तो वो एक काम की तरह देखिए, but उसका outcome जो आता है, उससे क्या करना वो आप सोच सकते हैं। You get more money, आप क्या करना चाहते हैं, वो आप सोचते हैं। मतलब ऐसा मैं सोचती हूँ।
Government service, it's a fixed salary. There is no money or something that you are earning from that. So this thing, what this thing I totally agree to that is very superficial.
Yeah.
Salary is fixed. If you want to earn, you are doing something bad. So if you are going right on your path, then there is only fixed salary. So
maybe just write the fact and you that's it.
Yeah, that's what. So write whatever is the truth and take it as a task that you have to do in the right spirit. हम गलत नहीं दिखाते हैं, हमको गलत।
Where I this fact, I'll give you a very different example. All of you are having our introduction there. I just did one thing. All of us are having our introduction there, and all
ऑल ऑफ अस कमेंट इतना ज़्यादा क्यों लिखा है जबकि हम सब ने खुद से लिख के दिया है. I'll give you the paradox, okay? I'll give you a paradox. All of us are given our introduction there, visiting this way, and all of us go there and say, "Yeah, इतना क्यों लिख दिया है?" When you yourself agree. That's what the paradox is, okay? That's with which you grapple always.
Correct.
You do write on your idea, you have to write it. Then you say, "क्या इतना थोड़ा कम लिखते तो अच्छा होता, क्या होता? इतना अपने बारे में क्यों लिखते?" But that's you are right.
बट कब क्यों नहीं लिखते हैं?
मैं यही कह रहा हूँ कि
सर,
अगर आप
कम
नहीं
क्यों
मैं ये अगर आप कम लिखेंगे, अगर आपके मार्क्स कम हो गए पीआर में, then 100% your promotion will suffer, or you are not going to get any medals or anything for the work you have done, which is genuine. So that is the paradox. That's why I have took this point.
So sir, वो सब होगा तो क्या होगा? Why you want to get the medal and why you want to get the recognition?
उमा जी ये
Another person who does nothing, if he is getting
नहीं, बट मेरा सवाल ये है कि अब मैं उतना ही लिखूंगी जितना मुझे लिखना है. ना है मेडल, ना है प्रमोशन. नहीं, मैं जाना चाहती हूँ कि क्यों करना?
All of us are intellectuals, okay? And all of us have given our introduction, with which we are feeling slightly embarrassed.
Embarrassed. Embarrassed, yes.
Why should not have said that thing on the board? That's where we are.
सही बात. उतना ही करिए जितना ठीक लगता है.
उमा जी
None of us have done it. Practical part वही हो रही है.
थोड़ा उमा जी राइटर्स सेंस में बता दूँ एक किस्सा.
94 की बात. 94. बहुत छोटा सा लिखी है सर. ना वीडियो में. तो मेरे बॉस ने कहा जिसके साथ में और एक साल से बहुत अच्छा काम करो. आई वाज इन क्लोज प्रोटेक्शन टीम ऑफ प्राइम मिनिस्टर. तो अल्टीमेट तो वही है सर कि सिक्योरिटी अच्छा हो गया तो बहुत अच्छी हो. तो मैंने छोटा लिख दिया सर.
होता सुनी इसमें तो आउटस्टैंडिंग भी देखा होगा तुझे अगर इतना छोटा लग गया. तो मैंने कहा सर पूरे साल तो आप मुझे देख रहे थे, उससे ज़्यादा मैं क्या लिखूँ. तो मैंने लिखा नहीं और सर ने मुझे आउटस्टैंडिंग दिया. तो आउटस्टैंडिंग भी जरूरी है, नहीं तो फिर जैसे सर बता रहे थे प्रमोशंस में और मेडल्स में दिक्कत आती है.
स्वामी विवेकानंद का एक सेंटेंस है, बोले जब कोई बच्चा मंदिर जाता है तो मुझे आनंद आता है देख के. और कोई बुजुर्ग अभी भी उसी मूर्ति की वैसे ही पूजा कर रहा है, उसे देख के मुझे दुख होता है कि इसने मूर्ति के बियॉन्ड को जाना ही नहीं. तो इसमें एक सर फैक्टर एज का भी है कि किस एज में कितनी महत्वाकांक्षा ठीक है. इसलिए हमारे यहाँ लाइफ साइकिल का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है कि एक पॉइंट तक तो पूरा कंपटीशन देना है, समृद्धि, समाज, प्रतिष्ठा, सब कुछ. लेकिन एक और अवस्था है वानप्रस्थ की जिसमें कि अब हमको डेलीगेशन करना है, और एक है संन्यास की.
60 साल के बाद भारत के रिटायर होते हैं और हमारा आदमी अमेरिका में जाकर उसके बाद वहाँ पे नोबेल दिया. आर यू राइट देयर?
हाँ, लेकिन हाँ,
आर यू राइट? आई इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन.
यस
हम जो लोग बैठे हैं सब और वाले निकलने वाले हैं, हम रिटायर हो गए, कुछ नहीं करेंगे. और हमारा एक साथी जो अमेरिका जाता है आगे रिसर्च करता है, रिसर्च का उसको नोबेल मिलता है.
करेक्ट.
सो वेयर आर यू?
I am saying that I am sure the driver is excellence, driver can be service, driver can be award. I am sure when he started the professor in the statistics department, he went to stay with his daughter and he got the first contract and then all that. I have known kind of through some sources, he went there to enjoy the subject and he wanted to give. So actually he was in the giving mode. वो वानप्रस्थ में ही थे उस मोड में. और वो वानप्रस्थ में कुछ चीज़ें एक्सीलेंस जो होता है वो वानप्रस्थ में भी होता है, कई संन्यास में भी एक्सीलेंस होता है. अब प्रेमानंद जी अब जाकर के इतने फेमस हुए हैं, उनकी साधना तो 25 साल से चल रही है. तो अब वो ये कहें कि नहीं वो मेरे को टीवी में मत लाओ, ये करो, तो उससे समाज का भला भी हो रहा है. हाँ, नहीं लिखना तो है ही, लेकिन
So
yes, you can continue this either tonight or at the tea time. But just to cut short and answer it, that yes, Naveenji, you're right. So system exists, and we are all part of the system. Either you become change makers or otherwise you accept the system. But I will not say that change is not happening. And especially if I talk about corporate world, and Uma will agree, there are others also. Corporate world is adapting this change, and we are evolving. The earlier assessment system is very different from today's assessment process. So I'm sure, and there is, I'm sure awareness in the government sector as well, and I'm sure things will evolve. You will be able to see that change. That I can't promise because I'm not there, but I'm sure things are evolving and they'll evolve for good. Yeah. Anything else? Sai ji, आपको कोई question?
One, Naveen and others, I don't see any contradiction. When it says karmanye adhikaraste ma phalesh patajana, it doesn't say deny the results. If you have got the results, you are also a human being. You have to be just unto yourself. So you have to own up what you have done. If you are exaggerating, then you are violating satya. But abhirigraha means not, taking possession more than what is due to you. It also means not denying unto yourself what belongs to you. So there is no contradiction. So when you are going after doing a process and this thing, without focusing on the results, if you do an excellent job, you might end up getting results far beyond what you would have otherwise got. But the idea is when you get the results, you don't have to deny it. If you have got a result, you showcase it. Because that's how you will be just unto yourself. So satya means you don't exaggerate. Abhirigraha, the other flip it, abhirigraha means you have to do value and project and portray what you have actually done. So there's no contradiction there. Right.
Thank you, Sai. So, any more questions? Thank you for being a wonderful audience, and I'll just end this session with a favorite quote, favorite line that we talk about in our company is that, perfect communication, what is the barrier? People don't listen. They pause to reload. So we're happy that the audience was not like that. So thank you so much. And thanks to the speakers, Ashish ji, IIlia, Uma ji, and Shailaja. Thank you so much.
One mantra for the end. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bharani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we have the felicitations?